So about a year ago, SRAM launched its new Quarq Prime crankset, and the basic idea is that a brand like Canyon here can fit a crankset that is power ready. So this is the first bike I've seen with the new crankset on, and it's a one by setup. So we've got the Quarq logo there, obviously, and there it says power ready. So what that means is you can buy the bike like this, and the customer at a later date can install a power meter. So normally, if you want to install a crank power meter, you have to remove the whole lot, and that's a bit of a waste. Instead, this system allows you just to remove the spider. You see it's three parts: you've got a crankset, a spider, and chainring. So if you decide to add a power meter at a later date, you can just buy a new Prime power meter, change the parts over, you have power. And to find out what it's all about, Quarq has sent me the power meter to try out, so let's do an unboxing. So if you decide to take the plunge and buy a Quarq Prime power meter, this is the box it'll come in. Quite a small box, it's just a spider. So let's open up and have a look inside. So lots of paperwork, spider installation, very important. Bag of manuals and bolts and so on. Product registration, very important. And there is the spider itself, that's the important bit. So that's all you're getting. I'll say all you're getting. High quality power meter. Then we flip it over, we can see it's Bluetooth and ANT Plus compatible, as are most power meters these days. So there we go. You also get a few tools. So extract it. So to install the spider to the crankset, you get an endless tool, you get the bolts you need, and there's a tool wrench, and they supply this toolkit there. So that's pretty neat. I mean, that's going to cost a fair bit of same, so that's a nice little detail. So all I need to do now is take the crankset off, remove the spider, fit a new spider. Should add that there isn't actually a manual for removing the crankset in the box. There is a PDF on the SRAM website, so you just download that and view that. I've got my laptop just out of shot so I can make sure I remove the crankset. But this is a fairly easy job. 8mm Allen key on the outside of the crank, remove it from the bike, remove the chainring, then remove the spider, fit the new spider, put the chainring back on, and slide the crankset back in. So fairly straightforward. If you've done it before, you know what you're doing. If you haven't done before, it's fairly straightforward. Read the manual, follow the step-by-step instructions, and you should be fine. So yeah, let's see how we get on. So as you can see, I've got the crank off the bike, remove the chainring, like so, and on the back of the crankset you can see the spider is held in place by lots of small torque bolts around there. So I use the tool that SRAM has provided and just remove them one by one. Like so. So there we go. Fitted the Quarq Prime power meter to the crankset. Quite an easy job really. The hard bit was removing the chainring bolts, they're quite tight. Fitted the spider nice and easy though. So all I have to do now is fit it back on the bike and away we go. So as you can see, I've got the crankset now with power back on the bike. So getting the cranks set up and connected to my Garmin is as easy as following this 3-step quick start guide provided by SRAM. As you can see, there's 3 steps. The first one is to power the cranks on by spinning them. So I'll just give the pedals a few rotations. That should do it. So the next step, basically set up your header unit. So that can different from every computer I've used in Wahoo or Garmin. I'm using the Garmin Edge 820 here. Just wake it up. So it's very simple really. Go into settings, go into sensors. I'm going to add a new sensor, and I know it's power, so I'm going to search by power. It's found it, 31250. I'm going to add it to the computer, and it's found it. So that's pretty simple. Go back to the main setting. Now there's a third and final step on the guide, was to manually zero the power meter. So that's calibrating the power meter, and on this Edge 820 you pull down the menu and you just see calibrate. Press calibrate. You want to do this when the cranks aren't moving as well, so the bike is still clipped into the bike. It's calibrating power sensor at the moment. It shouldn't take too long, it usually takes a few seconds. There you go, it found the power meter, calibrated it. Basically, we're ready to ride now. So there we go, my bike now has power. Hopefully this video showed you how easy it is to install a Quarq Prime power meter spider. Doing about 10 minutes all in and a few basic tools and know-how. All that remains to do now is to ride the bike and see how the power meter performs. And to do that, I'm going to do a cyclocross race tomorrow, and I'll let you know how I get on and how the power meter gets on in a future video update.